Hello everyone, welcome to Boxing Blocks and guys, and please if you're new to the channel make sure you click the like and of course the subscribe button right now, and also go to the notification bell icon and click it and select all sentiment opinion banga. A new exclusive video will definitely be notified. So let's not get it twisted. Tonight is a huge night. It's big, huge boxing night, and I'm riding my brother Tajabwe to discuss boxing. I believe it is very important that we, of course, discuss this and give our take on it as well. Shout out to my brother, Dead Game Boxing from Louisiana. Yeah, man. Dead Game Boxing. You're right in the live chat right now. I will be going live tonight. I know it's on pay per view, but I'm probably gonna show it. But on my other channel, I'm gonna use my other channel to show it so that if that one gets blocked, then is what it is. So, who do you see when? Do you want to join us right now as we here? I can post the link here if you want to join us. But before you join us, let me talk. Let my brother join. Let me my brother in. That's the link to join. The link to join is on the live chat right now. So, Tajagwe, big fight tonight.
Yeah.
Big fights. Babish against Winters and Kitty Taylor against Persoon, the rematch, and of course you've got Dillian Wyhte against Povetkin. The other matches, the other fights like I think it's Luda Clay against Chris Congo. That's also a very big fight though, but you know. First of all, let's just go to the Delphine Persoon, against Kitty Taylor rematch. How do you see that playing out, bro?
All right. With the Katie Taylor one, I wouldn't be surprised if Katie Taylor actually loses. With the controversy of last time, everybody believed she won, and I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan of Katie Taylor. I don't pay much attention to her because she's not one of my favorite boxers. I one of my favorite female boxers is obviously Carissa Shields, but I've been following what people have been saying, and they said there's a likely chance that Katie Taylor might lose tonight. You know, because of the controversy of the last fight. So I I've seen some flaws in Katie Taylor. I've watched some clips of hers, and she does get touched up a lot, and and not every fight demands you or wants you to needs be to be brawling in the middle. Instead, you just play the sweet game, sweet science of boxing. And I believe Katie Taylor might just be getting tagged a lot tonight, and she might get TKO'd in the late rounds.
Do you think there's an upset? Upset can happen tonight.
Between Katie Taylor,
Yeah, like
honestly,
Katie Taylor is the favorite for sure, the youth favorite. But at the same time, I
honestly,
just feel like Pezon is being underestimated by a lot of people. You know what I
it,
mean?
it, that's very true. But honestly, would you, if you look at it in the last fight of what happened with her, would you call it an upset or it's something that everybody's been known that it's gonna?
Katie Taylor problems like that, but she did. You know what I mean? So that was what shocked me the most when I saw it. I was like, whoa, this is something else. There's something else. It's just like um and for me, I don't know if I can call it a draw. I think um different person hedged it. But they would have just given it a draw. But I think because Kitila being the champion and favorite, then she got the win this time around. I don't know how it's gonna be because we saw. Last weekend when this girl cut Shannon Cutney or so, when she fought that girl Rachel Balls, you know, the way that guy, the Sky commentator, would just like heaping praise on Shannon Courtney. I'm not saying Courtney is not a good fighter; she's a very good fighter, but they already gave her like 3 rounds ahead of Rachel Balls. You know what I mean? So that just, I mean, they were bad. Okay, let's keep it right. Yeah, they were bad. So I don't know if the same is going to happen here because Katie Taylor is a huge draw. But Katie Taylor is a very, very good fighter. She's one of the biggest female fighters in the sport of boxing. And I do believe that she's got more loyal, she's got more loyal fans than um, the GOAT, you know, self-proclaimed GOAT. What's her name again? Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields she's very talented, but I don't think she's a good yet, man. She's done a lot, in less than 15 fights, but I can't call her the good yet. You know, what I mean, but she's very
Bro,
good.
I
But
tell you one thing though. There's a female fighter that I know you know her that our female African artist lost to Helen Joseph, Michaela Michaela Myers. She's definitely gonna be
oh,
watching.
Michaela Maya, she's gonna be fighting someone named I think Veronica or something like that from Poland.
But she's definitely gonna be eyeing Katie Taylor. I believe she's gonna be eyeing Katie Taylor. So I believe she could take out Katie Taylor. This girl is tough, man. I gotta give it to her.
That
This girl is
that
tough.
fight is not that fight is not happening anytime. So by the way, to my brothers who are watching right now, like the video. Is important to like it. We are live right now. If you want to join us, the link is there for you to join if you want to join and give your take. But before you continue, brother, let our brother, delegate boxing, get in. Let him step in right here. What's up, brother? How you doing?
How's it going, family? How's it going? It's kind of choppy. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. We can hear you, bro. Oh, how's everything, bro? You in Louisiana right now, right?
Yeah, everything is good. You know what I'm saying? Still dealing with,
Hello?
but I'm glad boxing is back. Get to watch a little Dillian Wyhte, a little Sean Porter. We got some good fights today.
Yeah, Sean Porter. I forgot about that. But the guy is fighting though. Like, what do you think? What's the take on that guy? That guy is unknown. I mean, he himself doesn't even know the guy. I've never heard of the guy before though.
Well, the reason why they got him because of his record. I think he's an undefeated fighter, and it's going to look good on the. I never,
Hello. I mean,
but
it's,
any
it's breaking up,
with
bro.
zero losses. Hey, I'm gonna get out and come back in.
Okay, for those of you guys who can't watch Dillian White's fight tonight, okay, go subscribe to my other channel, Ray Block Media. Just type Ray Block Media. Subscribe there because I'm gonna be streaming it live there. I don't know streaming. I'm not gonna be streaming it here because if I stream it here, they're gonna take it down, and I don't want to have any stain on this on this channel because I've had to fight off some vultures in the past. So make sure you subscribe to that channel. Okay, go to that channel and subscribe. Ray Blog Media. Go subscribe there, and I'm gonna be streaming it right there. You know what I mean? Or holla me on Instagram. You know what I mean? Follow me there. I wanna have up to 1,000. I need to get to 1,000 followers on Instagram so that I can start doing live shows as well on Instagram about boxing because I'm probably one of the only guys from Nigeria who's trying to grow the sport. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy when you're the only guy. I want there to be more of us that does this thing. You know what I mean? If you look at the UK, the British people, they always do this. Like more of us should create a platform. More of us who are Nigerians should create a platform, or Africans should create a platform. Just let me know, share it with me. I will help share it. I will help promote it for you. Because the more you guys get into this stuff, the more boxing, becomes a little bit more popular in Nigeria and in some African countries. You know what I mean? In every language, whether it's Spanish or French, whatever. Just let me know. I will share it. You know what I mean? It's one love, well one. Now, dead game boxing. His internet is not that. All right, I think he doesn't have a good connection yet. but maybe you come by later. So for those of you guys who want to join, I'm gonna like ping it here so you can join. Yeah, go on the live chat, look at it there, and click the link to join us right now. Right now, we did no doubt about it. But do you think she can really conquer conquer women boxing
Oh, bro,
like
bro,
Hitler did?
I gotta give it to that girl, man. That girl is so talented, man. And the way she what's her name? Helen Joseph is a brawler, as you could tell in her fight. And the way she maneuvered against Helen Joseph and able to actually land some major blows against her was very impressive, man. And even be able to move away from Helen Joseph's punches was very, very impressive. That tells me that girl, if it's need be, that girl can absolutely brawl with you when it's necessary, and at the same time play the sweet game of science. You know, and that's how she was able to defeat Ellen Joseph. And now she's going to be watching Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor is like 34 years old, 5'5", with Michaela being 5'9" and 30 years old. They're going to meet. And you know how that fight is going to go. So it's either she's going to go up to meet Katie Taylor, or she's gonna go down and meet Katie Taylor. So that's what I'm thinking. But
You think she's not all hype, or
oh no, man, I do not think this girl is all hype, bro. She is absolutely the truth, man. I believe it, 100%. Even though she lost to I believe she lost to Clarissa Shields in the Olympics, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that in the Olympics. But
what makes you think that she's the good?
well, right now she's undefeated, and I can't see anybody really touching her because of who she is. She might have up to 10 wins on her resume, but she's I believe she's an Olympic gold medalist, if I'm not sure. And her Ivana Habazin, I wish I could say her name correctly. I'm not saying it right.
Abasin.
Yeah, she really gave it to her, and Ivana then couldn't really keep up with her. So that's one of my main things. If you wanna beat Clarissa Shields, man, you have to be able to move with her and actually be able to brawl. I don't think she could. She does have weaknesses. I don't think she could really stand in there and brawl with you for a while. If you land a major punch on her, I believe she will go down, or she's gonna get KO'd. You just need to be almost as big as her, or just bigger. Because right now she's dominating because she's just bigger than everybody else. And that's just the truth, man.
Very interesting, though. But at the same time, don't you think anything can happen?
Yeah, I believe anything can happen. That's why I said you have to be. There's gonna be somebody who's gonna be either just as big as her, that could act that same age, that can dominate her just as much as she could do the same thing to everybody else she's bigger than. And like I said, her chin. I don't think her chin has been tested. If I'm not mistaken, her chin has been tested once, and she almost crumbled. But I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I do believe she's beatable. But you just have to be just as big as her. That's about it. And there are some young prospects coming up that can absolutely do it. If I'm not, somebody lost this, I believe last week. Was it
What's his
Cecilia
name again?
Brækhus?
Cecilia Brækhus against Jessica McCuskey, right?
Yes. Okay, yeah. Those are the girls that could.
McCuskey against Katie Taylor for the rematch will be good, huh? Huge, right?
I think so. I think so. Will be good. She's absolutely improved. So Katie Taylor and her won't be facing the same. They won't be different. They're gonna be totally different. That's what I'm saying. Eddie Hearn put this into good terms. Women boxing is gonna be very interesting coming up. There's some really good fighters, and there's some really good fights that people want to see again. And Katie Taylor is one of those people. Cecilia Brækhus is one of those people. Jessica Haskell is one of those people, and Clarissa Shield is one of those people, and Michaela is one of those people that people are going to be seeing. You know, Eddie Earn is not lying when they said they might be headlining some fights, which some with some male undercards. So I believe Eddie Hearn. This is going to be this, women boxing is slowly coming on the rise. There's no denying it.
It's gonna be very interesting though. Like if we look at it right now. So, do you know of Chris Congo?
No, 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 no. Not Chris
Okay,
Congo. I've never heard of
that's a
him.
UK domestic fight, which is gonna be very interesting. You know, both guys have talked a lot of smack about each other. I wish you know them though, but I mean, when you if you watch the event tonight, um, I don't know who's gonna be fighting first, but in just an hour time, the event will begin. I'm going to record everything and post it on my other channel later. You know what I mean? I know they will take it down regardless, but I'm gonna post it and yeah, for the boxing fans. After that, I might remove it as well. Now let's go to Babish against Winters. Okay, so the Winters we know. So the Winters, you know, has been proven. You know what I mean? Of course, having 13 wins on his record with 12 knockouts. Okay, 12 knockouts, 13 wins with 12 knockouts. So it means all his wins, you know, has been, you know, via knockouts, or apart from one. And you also look at Babish, who is, of course, who made his pro debut, I think, back in 2019, you know what I mean, last year or so. You know, he made his pro debut last year. He used to be a dull man in Croatia. You know, shout out to Croatia, my friend in Croatia, Ivana. So now Babish, okay. How good is Babish? I mean, I've been looking at it, looking at his fight. You know, he's very aggressive. He is a guy that is appealing to the fans because he can talk very well. You know, I like this his style and his character. The character that he brings to the ring is very, very unique in a way. You cannot deny that. But how good is the guy, in your opinion, brother?
Um, Babish doesn't really have a lot of opponents that I would know of. You know, even Shondell Winters, I might only know maybe of one or two opponents on his resume that I could only speak of, and but you know that's how it is with these up and coming prospects. You if you don't pay attention to them, you really wouldn't you wouldn't know who they are. You know, only their signer or the co-signer who signed off on them know who they are until they make their way to mainstream boxing, and that's how you can pick them up. They're not like a Daniel Dubois where you eventually you're picking up on who they are as because they're making like a big scene for themselves. You know, like when Wilder said, "Oh, Daniel Dubois is going to be a good fighter." You know, Babish is one of those people that you really haven't heard of. You know, I think he just signed Dylan White signed him or co-signed for him, something like that. You know, but he's going to be on the undercard.
Dillian White is his manager. You know, but we have to give Dillian White props though. He is also the manager of Fabio Wadley. You know Fabio Wadley though. That guy that used to do white collar fights. He's the manager of Fabio Wadley. Is the manager of what is his name again? Richard Riakbo. And those guys, Dillian White is like this guy is almost surpassing AJ in management move, huh? This guy is almost surpassing AJ. But I mean, AJ only has like, of course, the guys that AJ has, other than Lorenzo Coley and Joshua Boatsi, um, I mean, Matty Bakole, is he fully signed to AJ Boxing? I don't know, but he is part of AJ Boxing, 258 MGT also. And I don't know if he's fully signed or signed to him or maybe, but yeah, I think he is though. Um, then you have this girl, Leila Lee, which She's very talented, but not active enough. Joshua Boatsi, I don't know when he's going to be fighting next. Not active enough. So Coley, we know his next step, his next move is to become a world champion and against. Well, it's not Glowacki. He's going to be fighting next. That guy, a Russian or Polish guy, that Russian
Yeah,
guy.
Glowacki, yeah, yeah.
So we already know the move of Lorenzo Coley, but now looking at Dillian White, that this guy is making move. Okay, big move. We have to keep that in mind as well. Big move, big signing, and Fabio Wardley, I know is gonna be a very very good prospect. We saw his last fight, which was very interesting. I loved it. Now looking at the Perkin White fight, how do you see this fight playing? I mean, we've talked about it, but it's the final prediction. You know what I mean? Joshua already gave his own prediction yesterday, where he said, "Listen, he thinks this fight goes to distance, and he thinks that Perkins still got, what I mean, he still got some dog in him." Okay, Dillian White came in heavy. Okay, 2 stone heavier than Perkin. He came in 18 stone. That's like 252.4 pounds. Why Povetkin on the other hand came in very light, 224, which is very perfect. And you can see right here, both of them are in perfect shape. So, how do you see this fight playing out? What should do what the keys to victory for Dillian White and keys to victory for Povetkin? First, Dillian White.
Keys to victory for Dylan White is to conserve his energy and learn how to pace himself and not throw as much bombs or as much of those deadly punches he throws and not punch himself out. You know, it's to pace himself and learn to go with the opponent's movement. And learn to move better when and not lose balance in the ring, which he does, and he absolutely does. And he just loses balance and he gets touched up and he falls to the ground. That's the key to Dylan White's victory. If anything else, he'll do good in all the other categories. For I would say the same thing goes for Alexander Povetkin, because he gets just as tired as Dylan White in about the same round. So that's why I think his team had him come in lighter than he usually does, because I can't remember, but him coming this light is an eye opener for me, because I don't remember when he's coming this light. I might be wrong, but it's a smart idea, because now he can actually move around and have the energy to expand, because you have to be honest, you can't play the same game over and over again. And what got you up to this point? Alexander Povetkin, I think he realizes, okay, let me beat Dylan White, because if I do, there's some big opportunities for me coming up in the horizon. you know. So let me come in lighter. Let me move. If I can move better, and if I can avoid Dylan White's punches, I've always said boxing is a game of chess and not checkers. So Dylan White is playing chess, and Alexander Povetkin's team, they're playing chess. And it all depends on who has the right pieces and who's moving to the right spots to be able to critically beat their opponents. So that's why Alexander Povetkin came in at 220. He might come in tonight at maybe nearly close to 230, maybe just a little bit lighter. So him coming that around that range can have him move, conserve his energy. And Dylan White, hopefully his team told him don't get too crazy in the ring, conserve your energy. After you conserve your energy, then you can really let it go. you know. So if he decides not to conserve his energy, and Alexander Povetkin decides, as when the round progresses, and I decide to really put it on Dylan White and make him work, he's gonna get tired, and that's when I could really tag up Dylan White, and actually move out of the way. You don't hook with a hooker, and they both have amazing hooks, but it all depends on who has the better hook, and who can land clean. So that's what I think is going to happen tonight, and that's that. Those are their advantages when it comes to this fight. So let's see who lands, and let's see what power brings to this fight. We both know they have amazing power, and Povetkin, he has amazing power too. But let's see what happens. When it comes to coming in lighter and being quicker with a quicker Povetkin, outmaneuver and frustrate Dillian Wyhte, or with Dillian White's power eventually hurt and put down Povetkin, and that's what it is.
Like, do you see any knockdowns, for example? Like any, do you see like a back and forth, like a fight? For example, Dylan White knocks Povetkin down. Everybody watching it at home, sharing, and all of a sudden Povetkin comes back, knocks Dylan White down. Like something like um Klitschko Joshua. Do you see it happening? Because someone sent me a message this morning saying, BBC, you are counting Povetkin out. You think Povetkin is a pushover. I was like, okay, listen, I never said Povetkin is a pushover. Go look at the video that I uploaded yesterday. We never talked about Povetkin being a pushover. What we said is that Povetkin is still a dog in the game, but we don't see him beating Dillian White. What do you think? Do you see anything like that happening? For example, a back and forth battle like that, like both of them knocking each other down. Do you see that happening, or do you just see White dominating? Because now I took my time today to watch both fighters. Okay, I took my time very well. I watched their old fights. Povetkin in his younger days was a monster. No one beats that guy. Okay, let's keep it right here. Klitschko even was afraid to engage with Povetkin. Although, yeah, he did handle Povetkin away, but that was in later rounds. Okay, Povetkin the whole Povetkin is just someone that is hard. That's gonna be hard to beat. Or that was hard to beat. Okay, now what if the whole Povetkin comes back and give us his best? Because this is a big fight for him, and this fight can take him to the next level, to the point where his name would just be among the best out there. How do you see it playing out if that occurs? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Dylan White and Povetkin are almost two sides of the same coin. They both can easily get knocked down, and they both easily get knocked down, and in fights. We've seen him get knocked down against Michael Hunter, a cruiserweight, became a heavyweight recently in their match, or he's been a heavyweight, so he's been knocked down. Maybe that was an intentional slip or something, but he's been knocked down, and we've seen in the past Dylan White has been knocked down multiple times, but these fighters have both gotten up and actually continued on to the point of either winning their match or coming to a draw. So I see a knockdown could be possible from both of them. So it all depends on who lands a cleaner shot. Like I said, you don't hook with a hooker, man.
Yeah, but both guys are hookers, so that makes it very interesting. Now, Povetkin is a guy that has one of the best hooks in the world. Why Dillian White also the guy that have one of the best hook, and they've dropped people with that hook. I remember Povetkin dropping Carlos Takam hard. That was that was devastating to watch, man. This guy was a monster in his. Listen, he's only lost to two people, Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko. But Joshua is still the only man to stop Povetkin. The only man to stop him is Joshua. But we'll see what happens. Joshua did say that Dillian White should not go in there trying to stop Povetkin because Povetkin might come back, and hurt him. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that plays out. Now let's talk about this. Let me, of course, go to this because it's very important that we, as boxing fans, talk about this right here. For those of you guys who are watching right now, please make sure you like this video. It is very important that you do so. Please, 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 please. We are live right now. If you want to join us, the link is there to join us. Shout out to my brother Dead Game Boxing there. Now, the WBC Marcus Sulema sent Eddie Hearn an email, okay, yesterday, where he said, I quote, Dear Eddie, the WBC annual convention reviewed the mandatory status of each division, and I would like to confirm to you the official ruling in the heavyweight division. If WBC interim champion Dillian Wyhte wins his fight against Alexander Povetkin, he will be ratified as the official challenger to face the winner of Fury vs. Wilder 3 fight. One day after the fight between Fury vs. Wilder, the period of free negotiations will begin. Sincere regards, Marcus Suleiman. That is good news, right? Or what do you think about that?
No, Mauricio Suleiman. This guy changed his mind so much, or this whole his whole party, or whatever you want to call it, the committee. They changed their mind so much, but it's good news though for Dillian Wyhte. It confirms he's next no matter what, and it's not AJ. It's not nobody else. It's Dillian Wyhte. What can get this way is Tyson Fury deciding to vacate the belt, and Dillian Wyhte just fights it off against AJ. That's I wouldn't say much. I wouldn't say get in the way, but that is a big possibility of Tyson Fury vacating that belt because let's be honest, Tyson Fury has that history of I just don't see it in Tyson Fury fighting back-to-back fights, tough fights. Wilder, well, I wouldn't. Would I say Wilder's a tough fight? Not really. Anything, and it's just what can happen in that fight that can make it tough. So it could be what makes the fight is he's got to face Wilder. He's got to face Wilder, Dillian Wyhte, and AJ. Would the question is does Tyson Fury have it in him to actually go through those tough fights like that? Like I said, I'm not too sure if Deontay Wilder is considered a tough fight. He doesn't really put you through wars like that. But let's just hypothetically speaking, does Tyson Fury, is he in the right place mental? Because history, if you look at it, he doesn't do that. He doesn't fight back-to-back tough fights like that. Probably take a warm-up, maybe one or two, and then do it. That's the way he's been. Or he'll probably vacate that belt, or they'll probably move him to franchise to where all he has to do is just face Anthony Joshua and not face Dillian Wyhte. So that really proves something about Tyson Fury and who he really is. So those are the possibilities of things happening between these bouts. Because let's not forget what old fish eyes Frank Warren said. Oh, we're not gonna fight Dillian Wyhte this year or next year. What is that supposed to mean? Isn't Tyson Fury supposed to be the lineal champion, the current heavyweight champion, right? Why is he avoiding fights? Dillian Wyhte is a good opponent. Why can't he fight him? He fought Otto Wallin. He fought Tom Schwartz. He fought whatever Ziffer, whatever that guy's name is.
Safari.
Yeah, he fought that guy. Why can't he fight Dillian Wyhte? What makes Dillian Wyhte different from those guys? So why is Tyson Fury trying to avoid Dillian Wyhte? Why am I hearing Frank Warren say, "Oh, Tyson Fury is not going to fight Dillian Wyhte this year or next year"? Make that fight happen and get it over with, and then you fight AJ. AJ, if you're worried about the money's always going to be there between you and AJ because those are the fights the UK want to see. So that's what's going on within that within that fight and that hurdle of what everybody's talking about. So let's see what Tyson Fury does. Will he vacate the belt? Will he decide, oh, let them move me up to franchise, or will he face Dillian White head on? Either or, I know the goal that Anthony Joshua is going to take. The man has said it. The man has been chasing that green belt for such a long time. He's only gonna face whoever has that green belt, which is Dillian White. If Tyson Fury decides to vacate or decides to get moved up to franchise, AJ does not care about no franchise title. He cares about that green belt and unifying.
You know, have you listen? You saw what Frank Warren said lately, saying that Joshua Fury don't need the belt. Like, what does that mean? Joshua wants to become undisputed. That's his aim, his goal. So, what do you mean he don't need the belt? I don't get it.
I don't know what kind of game they're trying to play. Maybe it's like, oh, if they fight, it won't be really recorded as an actual bout for a major title. It'll be a fight between two people. I don't think that's the game AJ wants to play. AJ wants to unify. That's what he wants to do. I'm not. He might have quoted. Don't quote me on this. He might have said maybe in the past, yeah, we don't have to. I gotta find. I don't think he said it. I might be wrong. AJ might have said, "Oh, we don't have to fight for the belts. We have me. That's the fight that the UK want to see. Maybe, maybe not. But you can't do that in this sport because people. You want to create a legacy for yourself. You want to create you want to become a legend in this sport, much like how these other great legends have done in the past. So you have to fight for that green belt. That green belt means everything. Do not get moved up to franchise because the franchise title means nothing with the way things are getting changed back and forth. So that's what I think is really what they're really talking about.
Yeah, thanks, brother. I think we have someone new here, Adero Jeffrey. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just joining live from Australia.
No problem. From Australia. Are you Nigerian? Are you Nigerian?
Yes, I'm a Nigerian.
Well, have
I
you been?
used to,
Since when have you been following the? Have you been a fan of the channel?
I've been following since I think mid last year, and because I'm a big fan of AJ, so
Mm.
when you post videos regarding him, I usually like follow, you know.
I mean, how did you know? How did you find? How did you know about? How did you know about the channel? Were you like, did someone share a link with you towards a video? So, or
Oh, okay. I think there's a day I was there's this fight AJ and the first fight with Ruiz.
okay,
So
okay.
yeah, so that was the time I first of all came across your channel on YouTube. So I just subscribed because I actually liked your content.
Okay, okay, okay. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, you're
We
doing
have our
you're
Nigerian
doing a
brother
good
right
job.
here, all the way from Australia. So, I return and say, Nigeria, we there everywhere. We fool everywhere. And
Okay.
at the time, I like sorry, but someone wrote me from someone wrote me not long ago from Sri Lanka. Okay,
Wow.
message me on Instagram for Sri Lanka. I say Sri Lanka, you Nigerian? He said yes. I said I
Like,
don't believe it.
like we're
From Sri
everywhere, man.
Lanka, like he said yes. He said I'm Nigerian. It's okay. We started speaking in. I said okay now let me call you. I called the guy, and yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
He lives in Sri Lanka. I was like surprised. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
That's
Nigerians are
interesting, bro.
scattered all around the world.
So you're a huge fan of Anthony Joshua, our brother. So who is
Yeah.
very, 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 very. I mean, he was a big role model to the boxers. But you also know about Efe Ajagba, our brother as well, right?
Yes, yes. I used to
Mm.
follow him as well.
You don't follow him anymore, or what?
Yeah, I do. I do. I
I
still
was about to
follow him.
say,
Like I heard he just change his was it promoter or something?
yeah, he's a
But
promotional company. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, which is very good for his career actually.
By the way, soon I'm gonna be conducting an interview with Efe Pochi, who's still
Oh,
with PBC. So you
Wow,
guys
that's good.
should expect that interview. BBC, um, will be doing an interview with Efetuba Pucci. Okay, probably
That's good.
tonight or tomorrow. But I will call him tonight. You know what I mean? Tonight I will call him. Maybe soon
All right.
after I'm through with this. Because boxing right now is gonna listen tonight. Boxing is huge. You know, I'm gonna be, but today's
Yeah.
boxing night, man. I'm gonna be watching boxing, both in America and in the UK, everywhere. So now, what's your take on this Dillian White? I don't know if you know about if you follow women boxing. Do you follow women boxing or not?
Not really. I just watch the highlight and stuff, but
Do
mostly I
you
just
know
do the heavyweight.
who Katie Taylor is?
I must have had on them before, but I don't really
Uh,
follow women boxing.
okay. I mean, you guys should follow
Yeah,
women boxing, man. Women boxing is good. I
I'm
mean,
very new.
it's
I'm
beginning to
very new when
become.
it comes to I'm very new when it comes to like boxing. I think the main thing that actually made me to start liking boxing was Anthony Joshua himself. I used to like it like in the days of Samuel Peter and stuff, but I didn't really follow it because I was still young and I was more into football and stuff. But once I discovered Joshua is Nigerian, like my love for boxing grew. So since then, I've been following it more. You know.
Bro, bro, the amount of fans Joshua like, the amount of Nigerians, the amount of Nigerians Joshua brought into boxing. We are sometime someday I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to speak on it, bro. The amount of fans, okay,
Yeah,
of fans of like boxing. I don't know, fans that Joshua brought into boxing. Like you won't believe it. So many people. I mean, they know about boxing, but they just didn't follow the sport like that until
yeah,
Joshua came into the scene. It's just amazing. I'm surprised. So
yeah.
it's very interesting that Joshua inspired you to, of course,
And
to embrace the sport, because you being
yeah,
me being Nigerian, you know, we're all Nigerians, so you know Nigeria, you know, boxing is not
it's not so
huge,
big.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
And when you talk of box, I mean, your parents will not even allow you
yeah,
I mean, to be a boxer. When you tell them you want to become a boxer, God,
yeah,
those shades will come up for ourselves. Say not me and you. Like maybe now it's different. You see, the same as football. Remember back in the days when
yes,
others we have all these legends. You know, the like Beba time.
yeah,
Beba
yes,
era. His parents didn't allow him to become a footballer before. They didn't want him to become a footballer. So Beba then
mhm,
decided to become a footballer because he just embraced it. You know.
yeah.
So, but now that there's a lot of money in football now,
People haven't taken
to be
their kids to
made.
go register.
So when you tell your mom you or your parents you want to become a footballer, like they support you now. Like
Yeah,
boxing is still a little bit behind, but it's coming
but
up.
we'll get
Joshua is
there.
changing the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, if someday your kid, or someone that's close to you tell you, "Oh, I want to become a boxer," I mean, you won't say no. You know what I mean? Boxing is very hard, but I mean, still is a sport that we need to embrace. But you also follow UFC though. I think you must know about Israel Adesanya for sure, right? Are you there, brother? I think we lost them, so I don't know the internet or so. Tajabwe.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I mean, you looking at the people that Joshua is inspired, bro. Joshua is inspired to embrace the sport of boxing. I mean, what's your take on that? I mean, we're gonna talk about that separately, but it's just amazing, bro. What's the take on it, bro?
Well, I mean, the guy is a very likable guy. He's a humble guy, and you know, people could relate to him. Whether it be you're a humble person yourself, you're quiet. You're a nice person, you're generous. He's an all around a grateful you know champion, something what a champion is made of. So people like who he is. He came from nothing and built himself up, and it's just his character that speaks to a lot of people. You could tell he's genuinely a nice guy. So that's why people get drawn to his energy. That's just the kind of character he is. People, I've seen some of these guys who want to hold him up on his past, or uh, Joshua the drug dealer, this and that. It's funny because I laugh at that, you know. And these guys don't. Those are the guys that I tell you they don't know what it means to go hungry for a day, or go hungry for a week. Want to hold you up.
Joshua wasn't even a drug dealer. I mean,
That's what they
he did
call him.
some. I mean, weed is not. I mean, weed is for me. Weed is like a medicine. Is a medication. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like it's just what it is. Weed is except you overuse it. So I don't know. Joshua used to smoke and do all these things, but he stopped all those things after he embraced the sport of boxing. So he changed himself from a boy to a man. You know what I mean? So there are some people who are 40 years old right now who still have like a kid, or who are 30 years plus still like a kid. While Joshua is, you know, learned how to become a man at a very young age. You know. So anyway, guys, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Like I said, exclusive interview coming soon with Efetuba Pochi. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be of course streaming the live bout of and the live bout between Dillian Wyhte and Povetkin. So go subscribe to my other channel if you don't know. But let me see if I can find it here though. If I can show you guys, so you can go subscribe there, because I'll be going live on the other one, I guess. You know, go live there. So let's check this out. Go live there, and yeah, let me show you guys so that you guys can go check it out. And let me see here. Now, here it is. You see that? You see that? Go on YouTube, search for Ray Blog Media, subscribe if you want to watch the Dillian Wyhte. If you don't have the phone, or if you're in a country where you know there's no way you can watch it, and you want to watch it, so subscribe there. And thanks to everyone that support the channel. I really appreciate it. And my brother Tajabwe was the last take on this before Vamut, because we have an interview to conduct with our brother Apoche.
It's gonna be a good fight tonight. So everybody come and join Baby C, and hopefully you guys appreciate and thank what he does. And please, if you're gonna join him tonight on the other channel to stream, what you can absolutely do for his channel is like, subscribe, and share. That is all.
Thanks, brother. I really appreciate it. And shout out to everyone. Shout out to Dead Gay Boxing. Shout out to King Yashua Solida. And to Ezekiel Odemo. To Sosa. To Dekoya Nonsense Ayodele. And to everybody right there, God bless you all. Stay blessed, brothers. Cheers.